Hello. I went outside this past weekend, which I usually don't do, but there was a particular event taking place. And so I guess I'll talk about it. It was very fun. And there were lots of people. Which I'm not a big fan of, but it's fine, I can tolerate that. But anyway, this event took place in like an internet cafe because it was like the finals, German finals of Valorant. And I went there with a couple of friends. The games were pretty exciting, but also kind of boring because there were a lot of tech pauses and issues, which kind of, I mean, they couldn't really do anything about it, but they did end up fixing them after a couple of technical pauses. Nevertheless, though, I gotta say, respect, because it was probably really awkward, but they did pull through. This is basically like a card deck with different kinds of players, like German players. They gave this out they had this little setup where there are four PCs, and it was basically a 2v2. One person was shooting and the other one was moving. And so I played that, and I lost like 7 to 15 or something. But as a reward, they gave us these cards. But you can't really play anything with them. I guess you could like compare their stats, because there's like headshot, right, combat score, econ rating, and stuff like that. But yeah, guess that's the game you would be playing, Dog Jump, or something like that. I know I used to play a game like that with like cars or planes. I forgot what the name is. Or trains or anything that has like, it's like technical and has stats to it. But anyway, this is the first thing I got. And it was at the 2v2 thing. And now the other people who won the 2v2, they got the shirt, but my friend didn't have a bag, so I packed it in for him, and now I have it. So it just says relaaaax, which is like the German scene. That's what Dach stands for. Anyway. Let's see what they say. relaaaax is a collaborative event organized by Ansemerkua, Challengers, Dach, Project V, and Queens, taking place in Cologne from May 3rd to May 5th. Out 2024, by the way. This event brings together the Valorant community from Dach region for competitive gaming. You can see the different, I don't know, projects or groups. But this wasn't in Cologne. Did it say Cologne? Yeah, it wasn't in Cologne, it was in Berlin. They gave a Dick Boss stickers. So those two things I got at the 2v2 thing. This one I got from just a friend. And the fans went crazy though. Like, I wasn't really rooting for any team in particular, but there's like the stage room, I guess, or like the players who were playing. I only ended up like being in there for 10 minutes because it was really hot and not really comfortable. And the monitors they were showing the gameplay on were very tiny. I can read like who was playing what and like the score and all that stuff. But I guess it was kind of cool seeing the players. So I was just like, screw this. And they had like a projector set up outside of the stage area. It wasn't very big, but it also didn't really have to be because it was like there weren't that many people. It was pretty crowded, especially on Saturday. I went Saturday and Sunday. But yeah, there's like a open room with a lot of rigs and chairs, but like comfy chairs, like gaming chairs, sort of. It was like an Omen chair. I don't know So I was watching like the stream on this projector, and the frame rate was kind of choppy, but it was so much nicer because the screen was so much bigger and you had a comfy chair. And it wasn't as crowded, you know, it was an open area, so I enjoyed that a lot more. But afterwards, I watched like maybe one game there, and then a friend and me. There's like an 18 plus area. I don't even know why it's 18 plus, but anyway, we went there right before the final game on Saturday started, and that was really the place that you had to be, because you went in, and right when you turn right as you turn right, there's like beanbags, but not like beanbags, but like, I don't even know. It's like a seat. It's like a cushioned seat on the floor. And it also has like a back support. And that thing, that was really nice to sit on. Really comfy. You're like half laying, but you're just comfy. I don't know. They had a nice TV that was streaming. That was the place to be. There's also only like, I don't know, 12 seats maybe. And there's like almost no one there. It was like my friend, me, and like 6 other people. So it was really fun. My friend actually, he betted on that game and he ended up winning. He won like 30 or 40 bucks. And then I got told he ended up going to the casino after like the game had finished and I had already left. He went to the casino, put 60 bucks on red and won. And he just quit. I mean, in my opinion, that's how you should be playing the casino. If you're playing it. I'm not big into gambling, but you gotta know when to leave. I also have this kawaii sticker. I don't know what. Oh, I actually do know where to put them on now. For the longest time, I didn't know where to put stickers on. I used to have a skateboard that had like a completely black board, like the deck. The deck was completely black on the back side, I guess. But for some reason, I can't find it, and I'm kind of pissed off because it's got a lot of stickers on there that I really like, and that I also either gotten because I spend a lot of money, or that are like kind of rare, but also just cool, and like a case for my DJ controller, and so I was gonna start putting stickers on there. But anyway, there's also one last thing. I'll just be tapping on this. So there was a challenge. The challenge, they had like, there's some like chips company, and I swear these guys had like unlimited bags of chips. So when I first got there, and I met up with my friends and said hi to all of them, and they were like, they're doing like an aim challenge, and it's basically like it's like a software where it's supposed to be like training your aim, so you have to click different kinds of targets. But the specific challenge was like, you have to click on different chips bags, which was really confusing at first because I played like aim trainers before, and it's usually just like either spheres, like dots that you gotta click, or like squares or rectangles, or like geometric shapes, right? But these chips bags, they really threw me off in the beginning, but you kind of get used to it. And so how it worked was, there are different stages, and you'd progress a stage whenever you killed basically all of the targets. And the prizes were third place gets I think they got like 500 bags of chips, which is like, I guess, right? But good luck eating all of those without throwing up. But that was third, and then the second got like some other absurd number. I think like 1.5k bags. And my friends that told me about this, they're like, right, the first rank person gets like a mouse pad. And I was like, okay, like, say less. And it ended up not being a mouse pad, and I was kind of pissed. But it's actually a mouse. So I think it's gonna be the same model as this, so it's a G Pro Super Light. But it's gonna have a lot of, or not a lot of, it's gonna have the signatures of pro players on it. And in particular, it's gonna be Team Heretics. I'm assuming it's just gonna be their Valorant team, which is still very exciting because I've been sort of a Team Heretics fan here. They gave me a phone case. So this is their logo. it's got all of their signatures and the signatures of CGN, which is like a German team based in Cologne. And so I went there on Saturday, as I mentioned before, and I was playing. Like, I didn't even care about the games that were going on. I was just like, okay, man, I gotta log in. And so I played for probably over an hour, maybe two. My friends were all sitting like behind me, next to me, cheering me on, which was very wholesome. And I ended up being first place after playing. And I so you could see like the top 7 or something on like the screen. And I ended up being like 6 different times in that top 7. Which is obviously kind of redundant because you're just gonna get the prize for the highest rank you are. But a lot of very nice people that I've met on that day. And I did end up getting beaten by some guy working there. Like, he was also part of CGN. And I don't know what he was on while he was playing, but he ended up being at like stage 30. And my highest was like 28 after the first day. And so I was like, okay, that's a pretty good start. But I know from experience and like online aim challenges that usually the first day or like the first half of any given time for like an aim challenge is not very showing of what people are capable of. So I was like, in the back of my mind, I kind of knew I'm probably gonna play more the next day, because I'm probably gonna get beaten, right? So Sunday, I didn't want to go as early as I did on Saturday. I think I arrived at like 2:30 p.m. on Saturday. And so I arrived at like 5:30. And I looked at the leaderboard. And, well, I was ranked 2. Someone else had beaten me. And it was actually the guy who was rank 1 before I started playing on Saturday. So I knew, like, okay, he's also kinda excited, you know. He's very competitive. And so I sat down. They told me I only had half an hour left because they wanted to close the stand at like 6. And so I just started playing, trying to get into the groove again. And I was playing. Randomly, I hear like chuckles behind me, and it was my friends who had shown up. And they were like, "Yeah, man, you got this. You're gonna get it right." And so they went off to watch the game. It was a best of 5. But the game was also kind of boring. And so I was just playing, and I guess it was a manager. I think his name is Mase. So, I want to give a shout out to Mase and Honey. CG and Honey, who was, even after I was trying, he still was rank 1. But there's like a rule that none of the hosts of the event can win the prizes. So he is officially rank 1, but he doesn't get anything for it. So I'm the next person. Or at least the other guy was. His best was like stage 29, 60%. And like the percent means how far you got in that stage. And so I was playing, and I got to 28 and 97%. So I was missing like one target to get to the next stage, because as soon as you get to a stage, it's pretty easy to build up the percentage, because during each stage you have like a time bar that depletes, but you can refill it by killing targets. But it depletes faster than you gain time, so you gotta either have a insane speed or not miss, because every time you miss it also shaves off like 0.5 seconds or something. And so I was like trying, and I was trying, and the manager, he was so kind, and he was like, I think some other guy was like, yeah, you guys have like 3 minutes left and then we're gonna close up shop. And the manager was like, give him another try. You know, he was very supportive. And he wanted me to actually win. And I was like, man, I can't let this guy down, you know, he's believing in me. Like almost no one has done in my life, but anyway. He really wanted me to be up good. And so I tried. He was like, come on man, you got one more try in you. It's just so uplifting. Which I'm very grateful for and I really value. And you know, I like got to stage 20 plus pretty consistently, but especially towards like 25, 26, 27 is when you have to really be clean and not miss a lot, but still have a fast pace, because otherwise you're just gonna run out of time, right? And so I was like stage 20 something, and I was like, alright, I gotta lock in now. I don't think I can do it if I don't beat it with this try. And so I was just full focused. I felt how my body got into like flow state, and I was quite clean with it. not to toot my own horn, but I ended up managing to get to 29, which was the record, and I got it, I think, by like 20 or 30%. I was so close to stage 30 too, but it didn't matter. I looked at my score, I stood up. All of the guys who were running the stand, they were standing behind me, and I was like, first I was in shock because I couldn't believe it, and then I was looking at the others. They were like, "You did it, man! Congrats!" And I was like, "Let's go!" You know, I felt so ecstatic in that moment, especially because the guy who was running it, the manager, I think, he was like being so supportive, and that really meant a lot than whatever the prize was that I won, because I really couldn't care less. I think the first seat got like 3.5k bags of chips, which I have no idea what I'm gonna do with those, but I'm not the biggest chips guy, so I'll probably see if any of my friends want any. But I'm just a lot more excited about the mouse. And I asked him, like, am I gonna get this mouse? Am I gonna get to see it today? And he was like, no, they wanna hand it over to you in person. And I was like, okay, sure. So I gave them my contacts. And now I'm waiting. I'm waiting for a response. But yeah, that really made my day, you know. They're really cool guys. Really positive. And just kind. But anyway, I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, let me know in the comments. If you would like to save my life, you can do that by subscribing down below. I hope you have a wonderful rest of your day, or a pleasant evening. Take care of yourself. Stay safe.